The Sacramento Kings fall again, drop another one to the San Antonio Spurs. It was a rough night for the Kings. The Spurs took them down 116-96. No doubt about it. They ran into a brick wall. Gig Popovich. Mike Brown's pulling his hair out. Let's get into it. Let's break it down. Sacramento Kings lose 116-96 in San Antonio. It was a back-to-back night. Kings kind of fall back to 6-5, and really it's 4-3 away. So they're battling on the road. Got a home win, but this one here was just tired legs, couldn't get going. They fall 116. What happened tonight? Basically, it was just an overmatching. You look at Wembanyama, the Spurs rookie. Man, is he a player? You know, I've seen a lot of things in basketball. That's not one of them. Watching him play, he plays a different game. I saw Sabonis really just put a great move in there for him, but he just grabs it out of the air. 7'4". I mean, it's hard to look at something like that. Nah, you got to look at this thing here. Here's what's going on, folks. You got De'Aaron Fox, and I'll get to the box score here in a minute. You got De'Aaron Fox has got to play a different role. This one here is gonna really. Mike Brown doesn't have any hair, but if he did, it's all gonna fall out. The first thing you got to realize with the Sacramento Kings, you're talking about a completely different lineup of players. And first thing the Kings got to really realize is how good DeMar DeRozan is. Right? It's quiet, but DeMar DeRozan is as solid as they come. And this is the first time in a long time Sacramento Kings have somebody they can truly depend on night in and night out to get it done. And that's where Fox is going to have to build that relationship. Because if you look at what Chris Paul did tonight, what Fox did, I mean, you're talking about two different things. And really, if I put it all together, what am I looking to see for the Kings to get to the NBA championship level? Fox is going to have to be Chris Paul. And you're going to really have to really tone it down and understand what Chris Paul does. He's one of the most efficient players in the NBA when it comes to the plus minus. When he's on the floor, it's basically a defeat for the opponents, and that's what happened tonight. But let's get into it. Sabonis, 36 minutes, 11-19, finished with 23. Came out of -9. Sabonis hit the boards tonight, 12 rebounds. Got 4 on the offensive glass. Also got four assists and 2 steals, and that's mission critical. And I'm going to point something else out here that's mission critical when the Kings got to play. First half of the season, NBA players are getting warmed up. DeRozan gave you 38 minutes, shot you a little over 50% from the field, and he got on the glass, had 8 rebounds, got moved, ball movement tonight from DeMar, and 6 rebounds, got a steal and a couple of blocks. So no doubt about it, he's playing defense, and that's what you want. Murray is going to be an interesting piece of the puzzle for Mike Brown, and here's why. Because Murray doesn't get any assists, and I'm overly concerned about that. That means he's really taking shots and he's not in the flow of the offense. And Murray should be like, Duncan with the Spurs. I mean, you can run some things through him. You're just gonna Mike Brown's gonna have to develop that for the Kings to actually win a championship. Because here's what happens: Murray, 29 minutes, 2 for 7, 1 for 5 for 3. Did get on the glass, just 3 rebounds tonight, 1 assist. This is a killer for me. He finished at -21, and this is a killer. I mean, whenever he gets 1 assist, guys, you got to really look at that and say, what's going on and how we going to do it. Here, I'm going to take you down to Fox, and I'm breaking down the box score. I really want you to get an idea of how Money Mike breaks it down. What am I looking at? Because a lot of this game is played for the Kings. It's done with intangibles. It's not going to be in the analytics. It's not going to be in score. So there's certain things going on. Here's my concern with Fox. Fox will play 36 minutes. He gets up 19 shots. Again, he's shooting a lot of different shots. And, I'd rather those shots go to Murray. I'd rather those shots go to Herter, right? But you got Fox pressing that pace to score. And he ends up 2 for 5 and 4 from the three-point line. Did get on the glass, 6 rebounds. When Fox is a point guard, as long as he's been in Sacramento, he's twice as good a player as Mike Brown's seeing now. He got 3 assists and 1 steal, right? Still comes out, pencils out at a -21. So you still get 24 points, you're minus 21. So what did you really do? You scored 3 points. And that's how you got to look at this, folks. This is what I do in the intangibles. Then I go, Herter's struggling on the defensive end for the Kings. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Herter can go in there and get you points and buckets, but tonight, he just returned, but tonight, 24 minutes, right? He's going to come out of minus 18 and he's going to drag you out for 2 points. That's a negative flow. And here's where Mike Brown's going to be in a tough spot because you don't want too many of these guys on the floor at the same time. If they're really not no contribution, right? So you get Herter going to drop you minus 18, 2 points. You come up to Murray minus 21, 5 points. And that's called up and down players that you have. What are up and down players? That mean they're going to be up one night, down the next night, right? Lyle's got in there, battled out. He's accepting the role of more minutes, right? He goes 3-8, 2 for 6. Lyle doesn't hesitate, gets on the glass, 4 rebounds, doesn't get you any assists. Whenever I see that ball not moving, and here's where I'm going to really point out on the Kings bench, right? Because you got to really know this with the Kings, right? So you look at the assist total off the bench. There's zero ball movement, right? The entire bench tonight got 1 assist, right? So that's a lot of players not going in there, and Mike gives them a game plan. Got to play team ball, right? But they're not willing to do that just yet, and they're figuring it out. I mean, you went 10 of 38 from the 3-point line. You come in there 42% from the field. You only shoot 8 free throws, right? And that's too low. You're gonna also lose the balance on the rebounding, right? You pulled down 37 rebounds, they're gonna bounce that. Let's look at the Spurs box and let's see where the efficiency comes. Because when you get a win like this, there's certain players. Obviously, I'm looking at this, they won by 20. Obviously, you got Champagne came in here 27 minutes, 5 of 12, 3-8 from the three. Here's where it gets interesting 6 rebounds, but his presence on the floor plus 25. Right? You win by 20, he's still 5 ahead of that. Barnes went against the old team, played 30 minutes tonight, got you 10 points, 5 boards, and bounced out plus 14. Winneby is just an amazing player, folks. I've never seen anything like this in my life, and I'm going to tell you this. This is why Greg Popovich, right? You look at Pop. Pop went in there and said, "Hey, I'll sign on for 5 years. You get this guy coming in, right?" So Pop's teaching him the game, and man, can he shoot it? He could shoot it deeper than anyone ever believed. And you know what's happening now for the big fella? The big fella with Paul coaching him up, telling him where to be. Man, that's the best move Pop could have did. And this big fella's adjusting to the NBA. And man, he's bringing down havoc. This one here is going to be a problem, and it's going to be a big problem, right? So the Kings bounced around, but here you go. Here, I mean, he's plus 24. He gets you 34 points, right? Get you 14 rebounds. Here's where I'm talking about with Murray. It's got to kick up to about 6 assists a game. That's going to be tough for Mike to get, but man, they got to work Murray in that offense and not be on the exterior. They got to work him in, run the offense through him, and that gives you extra option. Him and DeMar, if you look at it, you look at Murray, him and DeMar can create their own two-man game, and it will be extremely successful because they're not going to be able to defend that. Now, here's the most efficient point guard in the league, Chris Paul. No doubt about it. Let me show you what that looks like. He gives you 30 minutes. He shoots 5 of 8. Here's where I'm going with Fox, right? So you guys got to really understand because you got Monty, the GM, put something together for Fox. Fox takes 19 shots of minus 21. Okay, look at how Paul balances this out. Paul goes 30, only shoots 8 shots, right? 2 of 5 from three-pointer, no problems there. I got you your 40%. Now we kick it down. Paul gets you 6 rebounds. Paul gets you 11 assists. Here's that point I'm trying to get to you with Fox, right? Because Fox is a big-time player. There's no doubt about it. But right now, the Kings don't need a big-time player scoring at the point guard spot. They need somebody that can get everyone better on the floor. Fox has never been in this position at Kentucky, kind of control that pace. He's been with the Kings controlling the pace. Monty, the general managers, went out there and got him players. He's going to have to figure out how to close that pace. Now, here's Paul going to knock down 11 assists, get you 2 steals, right? Now, look at where Paul runs out. Paul gets 12 points, but he's a plus 28. They won by 20. He's 8 points better than the game, and he only had to score 12 points, right? So here's where you got to look at that utilization because you look at the bench. Okay, and you look at the bench, how they moved that ball around. What did they do? I mean, they were solid. So That's what happened with the Kings tonight. The Kings can bounce back, definitely. They got legs, but here's the deal. The Kings have got to figure some things out. Mike Brown has got to stretch this thing to where it needs to be. Now, Mike's got the championship pedigree, so I'm not too much worried about Mike, but it's going to take him some time before the Kings hit the stride. Sacramento Kings, like I said, you got Darren Fox is running that show. And when he runs it, he can run it right. But right now, we don't need the scoring. We need the assist. Kings players are going to have to take a moment and really understand how good DeMar DeRozan is. It's a big-time player, folks. Consummate pro, night in and night out. You're going to get the same flavor of ice cream. When you get in there with DeMar, the Kings now got to pick up the pace and match that energy because the Kings can dominate and win an NBA championship, but they got to utilize the pieces, right? There's no doubt about it. Mike Brown's got the championship pedigree, but man, oh man, is he's got to play full coaching this squad. This one's better in talent, but they're playing as individual. Their defensive rotation is not where it should be. And Mike's going to have to break that down. It's a combination of about the first 10, 12, 15 games, get to know your team. The other, you got to start executing it out and win some ball games, right? So, Sabonis, he did a lot, worked his tail off tonight, but Wemby, man, 7-4. I mean, he had a beautiful post move, inside spin, turned around, thought 2 points. Wemby got that too, knocked it out of the air, right? So you got the Kings. Herter's got to find a way on the defensive floor. He's got to get in there and battle that defensive out and start executing because night in and night out, that's back-to-back. He's too heavy in the minus. And when I talk about Herter in the minus, you got to look at it. He's minus 18 tonight, right? You got 3 of the stars, right? This should be carrying it. DeRozan was a minus 9. He got Sabonis in minus 9. DeRozan minus 11. You lose by 20. Those guys are in the game. These guys down here, you got Murray, Fox, and Herter. They got to get in the game and start taking care of this plus minus. Because if you're out there getting 24 points, minus 21, you only got 3 points. If you're coming here, you only got 2 points, you're minus 16. You start putting too many players minus in the game, it gets a little tougher. You talk about Lyles and McDermott, they're +2 and +8. Got it done. Only had 8-5 points, but they played defense tonight. The Kings can build on this. There's no doubt about it. You got Sabonis. He's a heck of a player. I'm with you on that. I think that the Kings are going to have to find a way with Herter. And when you get to it, you lose a game. That's going to happen, but nobody's going to take that away from you. Okay, and you got the rookie, 7'4". NBA's never seen anything like this, right? You got the captain of the ship, Krystal. Man, that's the most efficient point guard in the league, and it's been that way for several years. Greg Popovich took an extension, signed on for another 5. He says, look, you bring me players like this, I'll stay till I leave the earth. All right, all things are possible to those who believe. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast, bringing you the Sacramento Kings. This team has potential to be an NBA champion. It just depends if that's what they want to do. All things are possible to those who believe. We'll see you soon. And always remember, Kings, perfect position to win an NBA championship.